Base.
Yeah. I think I already did the presentation, but yeah, yours truly, Hey Blast, is going to be commentating here. And if there's anything I'm going to need, I'm going to be also asking the master of RE4 Classic Ares, if anything. With our runners, it's going to be Ace Card, where your guys are in for a treat, because this is going to be some speedy stuff. So, on my mark, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Wait.
Alrighty then. So there's a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about here. So starting from here, we're actually playing Castle percent, which means that we're not going to be doing the beginning of the game. We're actually going to start in Castle, and we're going to end in Castle. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some of the items that we had previously from some of the later earlier sections, and sort of sell them, and then buy here the sniper rifle and the TMP. Very important. Also important to note that we are going to be having 5 flashes, 1 incendiary, and 1 grenade. We did sell the handgun, ammo, and some jewelry, as well as we got also an attached case L. So you're gonna need space, so it's gonna be important for that. The first thing to talk about is the quick turn. We're gonna see Ace Card doing a lot of quick turns. That is basically the act of moving the camera to one side and then immediately tapping the aim button. And so that what we'll do is make Leon look quickly to the direction which we're looking at. Second thing he's going to be doing here is doing a wait follow, and this is something we're going to be using a lot with Ashley. This is just to sort of trick the AI to do something in particular, and usually it's just, you know, for the benefit of us. Also wait. So instead of just only doing wait follow to just make the AI move, we're going to also use Ashley as sort of a bait, and this is the first instance of a bait where this enemy is going to grab her but not do any damage, so this doesn't actually affect our own damage run. And we're going to rotate this to actually have an easy time doing this. Once we explode all this, all the enemies will disappear. Now if we did everything right, we will have Ashley on the left side, and the reason we actually tell her to wait is because we don't want her to body block us as we're moving in. She moves really, really fast, faster than us, so it's completely okay to make her wait there as we get past her. Here we're going to actually ask her to wait, and the reason is because when we go back, we also don't want to get body blocked. We're going to get the sword here in gold. There's a chance that one of these guys can actually also be in front of us, but luckily we got good RNG and we're not going to have to deal with that enemy in particular. And the whole idea of this room is we're going to switch swords. One is gold, one is silver, and we're going to put the gold on the bottom and the silver in the top, and then this clears the room. We don't have to deal with any enemies. Here comes one of the more toughest rooms to deal with in this sort of setting. Immediately we're going to let Ashley stop there, and we need her to do that so she can let the door, so the door can stay open. And this is very important, so we leave, we don't have to waste any time. And once we get past these 2 shield guys, there's 2 things that could happen. Either we get body blocked by them after baiting their attack, which means that we will have to do the slow way here, which I think we are. Yes, we are actually going to have to do the slow way, meaning that there's going to be 2 enemies waiting outside to the left, and it makes it a little bit easier, but it's slower and not optimal. So we prefer the other RNG, which is like we don't get body blocked by the shield guys. One thing that I didn't talk about is the moment we entered that room, there was an enemy in front of us. He decided to run. There's a chance that he won't run and start walking, and the problem with that is that as we're leaving that room, Ashley will get grabbed, and we don't really want that. That loses time. It will make things a little bit more uncomfortable to just deal with, and luckily we didn't get that. Upon entering this room, this is pretty chill until maybe later, but one important thing that we're going to do here is we're going to let Ashley stay here. We're going to tell her to wait and not move at all. This is so we can manipulate the group of enemies that we're going to deal with after we're done with this next sort of mini boss fight. We're going to pick up right here this incendiary grenade, very important for later, and we're going to face the Garrador. And the way we're going to defeat him is we're going to be using the sniper rifle, 5 shots. We're going to walk in, wait for him, and then we're going to do 1 to the Plaga, 1 to the body, important, and then the rest of them are going to go to the Plaga. Things may not work sometimes in our favor, so we kind of want to be on the other side, but this time Ace is actually just playing out in the open. We're going to bait the Garrador to actually go to the bell, because they react to sound, they cannot see us. And there we go, with 5 shots, the Garrador is dead. If he cooperates, the fight actually, goes smoothly, and we don't have to waste any more ammo, and it's pretty fast. Now that we did that, the enemy spawn, and right around here, he's gonna ask Ashley to follow and wait, and then follow when we get close. And that what it does is that the enemies that were really close to Ace will start running towards Ashley, but they'll get confused and will not be able to get her. And so that let us just get past all that without no problems. Getting into this room, this is a pretty scary room in the water section. Upon first entrance, we're gonna headshot 4 of them, 2 of them being archers, 2 of them being shield, and we're gonna actually try to knock down this guy here and then get past him. The other enemies are kind of looping around, so they're gonna take their time. So it's gonna be a little bit easier on us. And then as this guy points out, which is nice of him, we're just gonna get past them and just touch these platforms here. And so actually one side, us in the other. There's a chance that one enemy can chase us, and that could be a little bit difficult to deal with. But we're gonna wait here and actually wait here for them to sort of get close to the door, and then we push and sort of knock some of them down so we can get some staggers. Unfortunately, one of the enemies got really close to us, so we couldn't get actually away from him. But nonetheless, we're gonna try to get away from the enemies in the back. There's too many enemies, and we're gonna make Ashley sort of do the lever for us. We are faster, but we do need to manage all the enemies, so it's better to have Ashley do the job for us. And if everything goes right here and we don't have any enemies close to us, we will be going up the stairs in just a bit. And here, he's gonna do 2 quick turns to the left. So, 1. Ooh, they grab Ashley. So here we're gonna throw a flash to stop her, and then try to get past him. Here's one thing that could happen. Ashley may actually duck. We won't want that. So let's see if Ashley can cooperate. If not, then we actually have the other route, which is like go around. A little bit slower, but it's a little bit better because that way Ashley doesn't get stuck or she ducks or anything. Well, all the enemies in the bottom. Now we're gonna do the last part of the section of the water. And so the enemies, kind of the way they kind of behave, will dictate a bit of how well this second part is gonna go. Ideally, we want to put Ashley up so she can work on the handles, on the handle, and then we kind of bait these enemies. We group them up behind us, and we'll go to a little special place that will allow us to sort of control them better. So Ace is gonna be doing a little bit of that. So we slowly try to get them all grouped up. As you can see, since we kind of sort of have messed up a little bit in the early, it's a little bit difficult to have them all ideally behind us. So we're going to just, try to get past them as fast as possible and then get in here. And so here, we're going to have to sort of manage between this group of enemies and the enemies that are getting close to Ashley. Ideally, the first group, we do a shotgun shot on them so they can close the door, and then we try to kill 1 to 2 enemies in here. We only got 1 enemy, that means we don't have to worry about Ashley anymore. And here's just about killing the group that's inside, that's in front of us. By being pretty far away from the door, it kind of triggers them to sort of knock twice. And then when we get close, we just go for the shot. Once that shot, we're going to try to see, maybe do a hand grenade here. Yes, we're going for the hand grenade. This will kill most of the enemies, but we might still have to deal with maybe 1 or 2 red zealots. So we dealt with the first one, we dealt with the second one, but the one in front actually had 1 plaga, so another headshot will clean them. And then the last thing, we're gonna go for the headshot on this guy. We did not got a headshot, we got a body shot. That means we're gonna have to do a bit more damage to end him, so he won't bother Ashley. And at this point we really kind of can play around with time because we're just waiting for Ashley to be ready so we can grab her. So reloading weapon here is a really good moment to do so. If not, then we can just do it a little bit later since we have a bit time just before we exit this room. As you can see here, Ace is actually sort of managing his inventory, and this is very important because when you enter the inventory, by just tapping once or twice to the left, you'll have access to the sniper rifle or the grenades, provided that you place them there. If not, then doing a little bit of inventory management might be a bit of a problem. And since we're trying to be as optimal as possible at this specific run, we don't really want to have grenades in the wrong places. So good moment for Ace to actually do that. Here's the moment where I was saying that you can also sort of like reload, because Ashley takes a bit of time when platforming. She's not that great at platforming. And as you can see, Ace tried to leave the room, but if Ashley's not close, we cannot do that. And since based on what happened on the water section, we will need this grenade, which comes in handy. Really nice to have it there. And we're gonna go to the next chapter of the run. 3-2. Also, the first time we encounter, I think it's Novistadors, I think also, but not the flying types.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna be encountering the first time Novistadors in the sewers. So right off the bat, the first thing you're gonna see is Ace is gonna look to the right, and this forces the enemy to actually do this attack. It is very consistent. They always do that if you're not looking at them. They're very aggressive. We're gonna do 2 quick turns here, and then drop down, and there's gonna be more Novistadors in the bottom. And really good reaction time by Ace. It actually didn't perform that right on time, and realized that he had to do the prompt. So I got that. Oh, but this enemy is such a troll. There is a chance that you can actually not have this enemy in front of you, but it's completely RNG and it just doesn't favor you. We also do a strat here to just throw a flash. Flash was it? To just, you know, sort of, actually no, not a flash. We do a quick turn there to sort of manipulate the AI. And so that's what Ace did there, so we don't get hit by that. And then here is where we throw the flash right around here. And if we're lucky, we'll get multiple of those Novistadors, which we did. We did got it. I think we got 3 of them, which is very nice. And this allows us to get past this room with no problem. If we didn't, then it could be a bit of a scary situation, but looking to the right might save us. Or just looking away from the Novistadors. And here we're just a little bit of a platforming section. As long as you're safe, these sort of axes will not hit you. There's a cycle that you kind of look for. And if you do it right, you won't have to wait too long. But we're not done yet. We're not done yet with all this. So now we're gonna enter here and immediately gonna throw a flash. We're not throwing a flash. I guess we can also. This is something that I haven't seen. We can also just let them run and just go up the stairs as well. And so this allows us to, again, something that you guys probably noticed or did not notice, is that we actually wasted a flash that landed in the water, so we really need to conserve some flashes. So it makes sense to see Ace do that. The other thing we're gonna do here is that we need to buy the...
What are you buying?
The Magnum, which is called the Broken Butterfly. So Ace needs a bit of money, and it seems like he's a little bit short on money, so we're gonna try to get as much as we can. The amount is, I think it's 39,000. We need this for a specific room way later on, but we buy it now, just in case. Right in here, this room can be quite scary, but if you look away, the archers actually will miss the shots as you're walking there, provided your sort of pathing is pretty optimal. Go up here. There's an enemy there. He only, you know, just aims at you, just point and laugh. And here we're gonna have 2 RNGs. We can either have this archer right here in the corner, close or far. We actually got the RNG, so we're just gonna throw a flashbang, go down, knock down 2 of the enemy after doing this. So we need 3 shots for this guy. If we nail the first, all 3 of them, then he's dead. There's a chance that it can actually get take a lot of damage, take a crit, and so 2 shots is only needed. But right there, you saw Ace just take down 2 enemies and then do explode the barrel, and that kills all 4 of them. And by doing this all correctly, you save yourself time, because that red solid will just run away, go down into like a machine gunner in the center, and it's just gonna be a pain to take him down. So here it's pretty simple. The puzzle is just 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go to another scary room. So as Ace enters, he's going to try to get it close to the wall to the right side and try to dodge this guy's attack. He did. It's all the way here, and then going to try to stop this enemy and stop this other one and press the button. This will spawn 2 rocket launcher dudes, and we are going to ignore them and get inside this room. So we're going to break the base, press another button, and this will unlock what we need in the middle. And immediately here, we're gonna do a bit of a quick turn, wait here, reload, and then keep moving. We actually have 3 enemies, which is a lot. That means we might have some archers spawning, or maybe not. Maybe not. So what happened here is that all the enemies were behind. If enemies get close to Ace early on, then Ace will use the enemy, basically the other, there's like 2 more rocket launcher dudes, and we'll use that as bait to just kill whatever's behind us, and that will spawn the archers. But not spawning the archers is really good, because we don't have to be as optimal as possible in order to dodge their shots. So really good that we didn't have to deal with that in that moment. So here we're gonna get a bit more jewelry. There's like 3 of them. There you go. And then of all these barrels, we're only gonna pick 1 barrel, which is this one. This one has an incendiary grenade. We do need it for later. And we're off to the labyrinth with the dogs. If you guys never played this game, and you're wondering, wait, where the hell did Ashley go? Well, she got captured. And so, if you never played this game, or if you have played this game, you'll be happy that you can play as Leon without having Ashley here, to be honest. Because we have a lot of dogs. And so here, the way it's going to work is that these dogs were going to be chasing us. They are a little bit passive. You just keep moving and just minding your own thing. But there's going to be a moment where we're going to be turning around. And it could be quite scary because Acer is going to keep running and he's going to like pile up a bunch of dogs behind him. And so the way we deal with those dogs is sort of a developer technique that is widely used for ages and ages, which is like enemies are not that aggressive when you're not looking. So Ace is going to turn around here and then immediately look up. And so by looking up, the dogs actually are passive and they do not attack. Had Ace looked at the dogs, they would have queued an attack. So this is sort of quote-unquote universal design choice back in the day. It's still used today. One of the prime example of this is DMC5, where the enemies is like the most obvious one. But without 3-2 is over. And here we're gonna be using TMP a lot of the time. We're gonna get this ammo here, and we're gonna switch to TMP. We're gonna waste 3 bullets ideally. 1, 2. Well, we actually missed, so we waste 4 bullets, and then we're gonna break this glass. We're gonna reload here. We're gonna grab that flash. When we turn around, it triggers this. We grab this thing in the middle, and we just loaded a lot of bullets into the lock. If we do it right, then we won't get hit by the Garrador. All the enemies here, when they're actually running, it only takes 1 shot to actually knock them down if you hit them in the legs. So it's important to wait for them to start running, because if you don't, then they won't fall down, they will just kneel. And before we leave this room, we have to face 2 shields. Do we get the good RNG or the bad RNG? We're getting the good RNG. So what happens here is that the enemies will not open the door, and so you just kick them out and they don't do anything. The bad RNG will be that they actually walk in, you have to like shoot a sort of like oil that's like hanging above them, and that will, you know, burn them. And so here Ace is gonna try to go for a 2-shot here, but actually missed a little bit, so couldn't go for 2 shots instead of 3. And there's 3 enemies he's gonna take down, ideally 3 headshots, and that will be all she wrote. And as Ashley is getting out to check the door, we're gonna grab a rifle ammo and then come back and reload. And we're gonna prepare for the next red cell that's gonna come out. When this red cell comes out, we're going to just shoot him in the legs so we make him fall down, and then we're gonna throw a grenade. It is important that we do this because more enemies will come out if we just fight this area normally. But by killing the red cell, the moment we kill the other ones, it allows us to sort of stop any more spawns from happening. And so this is careful planning. This will end the fight, and Ashley will go to just the door. But one of them actually survived, so hold on. Let's go. We got some esports aims here. Some Valorant aim. This will give us a bit more time to just, you know, collect everything that we need to. But ideally, if you perform everything well,
I can get out.
If you perform everything well, you just break the vase, grab the spindle, and then reload as Ashley is entering this room. This will just give us a little bit of time to get some ammunition, so we'll probably need it for later. This Ashley section is pretty straightforward, not too much to talk about, honestly, except this one part here. So we're going to be rotating this first part. This actually lifts the gate vertically, but the horizontal one, we still need to work on it, which is on the right side. But the moment we get there, we will aggro the enemy. And so if the enemy plays well and actually doesn't approach us really quickly, we'll have time to open this without having any problems. But if he doesn't, then it will be pain. And we got the RNG, that means Ace is capable, it will be able to pass by without any problems. He could really get close, and that would just mess you up completely. So I'm glad that didn't happen. A bit of a sort of puzzle. We got a stone tablet here. We gotta just press 30 buttons. One of them is actually hidden. But the stone tablet that we picked up is gonna be to finish the puzzle. One of the last rooms, or the last room that we'll get there. As you can see, Ashley doesn't have any weapons, so it's just, you know, a little bit of running and being scared. So the puzzle here is middle left and then start right bottom corner, and move to each corner in a counterclockwise manner, and that is basically the puzzle. It gives us access to this room here. We're gonna grab this emblem and leave. But after grabbing this emblem and this sort of serpent ornament, every enemy is just gonna wake up. Oh my god, look at that! There's a lot of enemies want to hit me. But by just running past them, you'll be fine. It's that simple. There's also these prompts that you're gonna get. It's not the only place we're gonna get these prompts. Ace is playing the PC version, if I'm not mistaken, which we're seeing with the letter prompt. And the benefit of playing in the PC version as opposed to the console is that once when they pop up, there's always going to be two types of combinations of prompt. You can sort of match them both and you'll be fine and you won't get penalized. In the console version, it's not the case. You have to react to whatever prompt there is and you have to press the buttons accordingly or else you will fail. So that's a bit of a benefit of playing on PC. Master Race, by the way. Anyways, Ashley's gonna spin this, go up the ladder, and this will pretty much be the end of the chapter. Just need to walk here, make a turn here, and then... Oh, there's another turn, wow. Wait, there's another turn? Wow. Jeez, there's a lot of turns. Well, now we know. Now we're getting into the next chapter. This time we have Ashley and Leon, the dynamic duo, together. But Leon's not ready for such commitment. So Leon's gonna leave Ashley here and just keep moving on. Just, put some thinking. And then give her the answer when he comes back. But as we do that thinking, instead of just sitting down and thinking about it, we're gonna be a Giga Chat and grab more stuff to progress. So entering here, this is a bit of a cycle that we want to do, and we're gonna see Ace Card deliberately using a sniper rifle right here to headshot this guy, and then stay with the sniper rifle, which is a little bit slower than the grenade. And we're gonna align ourselves to the right side of this pillar here, and we're gonna wait for this to come down. 1, 2 shots, we'll take him down. And this will, by doing it this way, then we don't have to deal with the enemies that's behind us, and we also won't have to deal with the other structures that were on the left and the right side there. They're like constantly chasing you. This enemy in the bottom can sometimes misbehave, but if everything goes well, then you'll be able to get to the platform on the right cycle. So he is behaving well, which is very nice. And we have time to reload, so once we're done reloading, switch back to the grenade, and here we go. Really good execution there. Allows us to not have to deal with more enemies, because more enemies can spawn, by the way, which is kind of scary. And now we come back, and so we say, you know what, Ashley, you are a pretty good champ. I decided that I might need you for more cool tricks, so please join me. I wish we kind of had these kind of things on castles, Just a little bit of a ride through different parts of the castle. I would love to have that. If I ever had the money. Anyways, we collected ornaments throughout this whole portion of the run, and so we put them all together, and this gives us access to here. There is a grenade on top, but Ace doesn't need it. He has his whole road well routed, and would you look at that? Oh my god, if that was not enough, we have more. This is quite fun. So this place is pretty interesting. There's 2 places you can go. You can either go left or right. We're gonna choose to go left first and do this little puzzle where we're gonna let Ashley stay in one of the platforms and then put the rest of the statues on the other one, which is 2, and then Leon will be on the last one. And so these 2 go in the back, Ashley goes in the front, as well as Leon, so that way we're closer to this part. And wait a sec. Okay, I was he didn't got it. Ace was so close that I thought he was gonna pull off something that I know. Anyways, there's these 2 enemies, and you just shoot them once, and it's over. It is actually so funny that like they have no HP to the point that you can just throw an egg and they will die. So here, one shot takes down that that lock, and then we leave. We already grabbed everything we needed from here, and we're gonna move on to the other side, which is the more stressful one of the two. This one was the more chill side. But before that, we're gonna grab this golden herb here. We are going to be using this with a couple mixtures, just so we can sell it to the merchant later, because we do have a limited amount of money. We want to make sure that we have exact amount for some of the RPGs that we're gonna be buying later, and everything's gonna be accounted for. So everything is, you know, to the T. So immediately here, we're gonna grab this, and then 3 enemies are gonna spawn. We're gonna start from the left to the right. Every single one of them, we're gonna do a headshot, and if we did it right, we just throw a flashbang, and the first group is dead. The second group is a little bit different. We're going to align ourselves in the entrance, and we're gonna go left, right, and the middle. But the last one may not die in one, or the helmet may not come off in one, so we might have to shoot 2. We're just gonna wait for him to move forward, and then we go for a shot. That's 2 of them. Can we get a third? Oh, he misbehaved. What a guy. Anyways, good headshots there, and they're all dead. Not even on a marathon run. Jesus. Anyways, that's really good execution by us. Not really easy to do. Ace did a really good job there and took care of all those enemies very swiftly. Last thing we're gonna do in this sort of area is we are going to, first of all, grab a flash, and we're gonna do a little bit of a trick here to manipulate the AI to just follow Leon in a specific spot. So we leave Ashley here, and we do 3 follows.
Follow me.
And after those 3 follows, we're gonna run forward, and hopefully they behave, and we get past. So leave one of these things here. Make Ashley wait, and then put the other one. And the reason we do this is because we don't want Ashley body blocking us as we're getting into the door, because that could happen. You can lose run because of that. That has happened to many people, including me, I believe. Anyways, if you were tired of Ashley, don't worry, Ashley's not gonna be anymore. Once we get in here, we see the flying Novistadors. Ashley will be taken, and we're going to have to deal with these guys. But the way we do it is pretty clever. So we actually get out of here. The Novistadors cannot really go through the window, quote unquote. And so the way we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for them all to get grouped up and start flying. Very important, start flying. Not let them be in the ground, because if they do, they can clip in through the window, and then we shoot them down. Now, even more than just preventing them from clipping through, there are a very important reason why we do this is because they take extra damage when they're in the air. And by extra, I mean like a lot of damage. It's not just a little bit, no, they take a lot of damage. It's pretty crazy. I don't know why that works, but it works like that way. So here, a bit more of inventory management. We're seeing Ace actually kind of getting all the mix. We got 1 full, and then only the other one still needs the golden herb. I believe these bad boys sell for like 10. So it's either 10 or no wait, it's a 10 or 1,000. It sells for a lot, and they're really good. They're just very expensive, and it's really good to sell them. We use those primarily to be able to grab to basically buy the rocket launchers. This was sort of like straightforward. You just shoot those 2 things and it's done. And now we go to sort of this clock tower. And there's 2 ways you can do this. There's an enemy that's kind of strolling by. You can shoot him down, and so that will not aggro the sort of ballistas that are on the right side, and it makes it a little bit safer. But Noni's gonna have to do a little bit different strat, and it's gonna go up here and flash all this group of 4 enemies, which is a pretty good choice. And then here we're gonna bait the ballistas to shoot. The reason we're gonna bait to shoot is because even though we could potentially beat them, the second shot can be a bit trolly and can cost us a hit. We don't want that, so we wait for the first 2 shots and then we go in, because we have enough time to do that. By Ace positioning himself here, he actually has access to all 3 of these sort of wooden blocks. Normally, you're not supposed to do that. Or ideally, you're not supposed to do that. Is the way you do it is like you go like through each level, and you'll find one of them, and you'll keep shooting until you go all the way to the top, and then you switch a lever, and we go down. And as we go down, we'll encounter a lot of enemies. As you go down each level, you kind of want to shoot them before you proceed, and you know, yada yada yada. But we're not gonna do that. It's gonna be a little bit different. Here, Ace is gonna wait for the first archer to shoot twice before going down, and then proceed to just go speed run mode here. So 1. And the second shot actually landed really late, which is not good. That means the enemies might behave a little bit weirdly here. So we got down, not that bad. This guy actually giving us our back. Oof, the way he actually aimed was a little bit scary, but not bad. So we're actually gonna change to the TMP. go down here and reload as some dudes are throwing dynamites. It's the perfect time to do that because we can't move forward yet. And then down here, we're gonna have a couple enemies. You might have one or two. The first one try to grab us. We have two. We're in a bit of a difficult situation here because we basically have no more bullets on our TMP. Not too scary because we managed to just get out of there. So it's all fine. Here, ideally, we want all three to attack, and what we're trying to do here is bait the middle enemy. Oh, they're being so annoying. So the goal there was to bait the RPG to just move away from the middle, and then go get in there without no problems. This is a bit of an interesting strat that we're gonna see Ace pull here first. But we have a big of a problem here. We don't have any TMP, so we're kind of baiting them to get in here, so we can have time to just do the strat that we want to do, potentially. So let's see what's gonna do. Okay, yeah. So by killing them here, that way we won't aggro the Gyarados, and we can kill them in peace. This is pretty important because we actually need to make sound here. Hopefully they behave. Okay, we're going for a different strat here.
Gotcha.
That was a little bit scary, yeah. Things didn't went that well there. But the big problem is that we really don't have TMP. We're a little bit short on TMP, which the normal strat that we will do here is we take these two guys down, and that sound that we produce will make the Gyarados run towards us. We shoot the bell, and then they both together like hit the bell, and that will give us time to just do a little strat that we like to do with the broken butterfly. So here again, we don't produce any sound, so this is a good moment to do so. And so let's see what he's gonna do here. So aggro them together. Aggro one of them. Force him to do a dash attack, and then we're gonna kill them separately. So one should be a second one, and he's dead. There you go. And then we're gonna deal with the last one here. And really good use of sort of the sound in the game by Ace. Also, these enemies, when they're doing this specific attack, they're easily strafable, not too difficult. This one in particular takes 3 shots to kill. And there we go. We grab the spittle, and then we're off. Another prompt, but you can also just mash and you'll be fine. We're gonna get the crown here, and then the other golden herb and a couple like ammunition. And we are going to buy a rocket launcher from this merchant.
Got some rare. What are you?
Also, we're gonna sell the shotgun, so we don't need the shotgun anymore. Say hello
What are you
to RPG and also the striker, our new bad boy.
Thank you. Come back anytime.
Now we're saving just for safety, and we're gonna be equipping our rocket launcher here. And just like the grenades, you also can move pretty fast if you have equipped the rocket launcher, because for some reason whatever you carry in your bag doesn't really matter. So I guess that works. And what we are up against now is supposed to be sort of a boss fight. There is I think these enemies are called Verdugo. And we're gonna get a couple prompts here as we're moving forward, but not just yet. We still need this cutscene, and then just a little bit forward is where the prompts will start happening. I would say right about here. So we might do 2 to 3 here. It depends on how graceful it is. So like 2, maybe a third one. No, a third one. Let's go. So we're gonna press a button here. We're gonna be sealed in this room, and we're gonna have to, press a button to get out. But once we do that, the Verdugo will come down, and we're gonna have to deal with him. And here's something important: we're gonna, instead of like turning around and moving quickly, we're gonna turn around slowly and then move. Because if you move too quickly, then the Verdugo will do a very quick attack, and it's a little bit annoying, and it also makes him chase you way slower. We don't want that. So we're gonna freeze him here and go for a rocket launcher. Super quick and easy. We're also gonna grab that jewel because it's good money. The other option that you have, which is the original way of fighting this Verdugo if you don't have RPG, is just kind of like running around, avoiding hits as much as you can. You throw the sort of tanks that freeze him, you do some damage, and either you stall out enough for, I think it's like 5 minutes till this opens up and you can leave, or you end up killing the Verdugo. So we opt for the more consistent option, which is just freeze him and RPG. And now we're done with that chapter. On to the next one, the mines. Off the bat, we're gonna break these barrels here, and we're gonna grab a grenade as well as a spinel, and we're gonna buy a RPG.
Welcome.
But some of you runners know that we actually buy 2 RPGs. One is for the rock that's we're gonna be seeing in a bit, and we also buy an RPG for a later enemy. But instead of doing that, I think we're gonna do here only 1 RPG strat. So we're not gonna be using the RPG for now. We're going to go get the dynamites and deal with this section, which is a tiny bit scary, but if you know how to move around, you should be fine. So we're gonna drop down here and go to the right. There's this lever we're gonna pull out so the cart moves down, and we're just gonna bob and weave. These enemies, when they throw sort of hatches, they actually throw in a pretty big arc, so they go over you if you keep running towards them. But depending on the elevation, it can screw you, so it's a little bit scary. Here we're kind of waiting to group them up behind us, so that way we can have a clear path down here. We're gonna drop here and try to get past all these enemies, and then move forward. So right there, what you saw is the first instance of a shimmy. Well, we probably have seen the shimmy a couple times in the past in this run, but the shimmy is the idea of moving close to an enemy. I think I explained this on one of the previous runs, but it's moving close to an enemy and baiting them to the attack, and then when they whiff, we move forward. And so that's really important because we don't use resources. We're gonna flash here and put the dynamite. This will give us enough time to explode the rock and then move forward without having to deal with the enemies in the back. Really good job here by Ace. We're gonna grab this hand grenade and a magnum ammo, and then we're gonna deal with 2 big enemies. And so first thing is we're gonna walk to the right here and then wait, turn around, and shoot with the RPG. The first one, if he doesn't cooperate, then we sort of step back and go for the shot. If it connects, the next one will get stunned for a little bit, and that will give us time to just get to this lever. When we see him getting in, we drop, and that will kill him as well. As he's going through the dying animation, we're gonna grab a couple of munitions here and there, and we're gonna try to grab this here and leave. Normally, the enemy's supposed to die, a little bit further away. So what happens is that we're a little bit too late to grab the money that they drop. So we have to wait for their dying animation and then get close just to bait their sort of desperation attack and then grab it afterwards. Now entering here, this is probably one of the most difficult sort of or slash stressful rooms of the run. And there's different ways that people tackle this. You might do it like in one take where you don't come back and reset the room, or you can do it in multiple takes where you can come back and reset the room multiple times, or even one. So we might see either a 1 reset, which I think is more likely, instead of a 2 reset. And the reason we do this is so it kind of sort of resets the timer of the enemies coming out, and it makes this part a little bit easier to just get there, because that way we'll be able to get to the part we want to, there's a couple things we gotta interact with, and it allows us to get to those places without having to deal with these enemies. Also allows us to conserve ammo. It's a little bit of a time loss, but when you're short on ammo, it definitely helps. These enemies are flying, by the way. You know what happens when they're flying? You use a shotgun, they basically die in 1 hit. Mind you, if it happens, and I hope it doesn't, if we encounter one of these Novistadors in the ground, you'll see why it's better to have them in the air. It takes a while to kill them. So here there will be 2 Novistadors spawning in the middle. They always do. This one's really far away, so it's kind of hard to take him down. If he actually touches the ground, we're gonna be wasting more ammo, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Not cooperating at all. There's one. And he touched the ground. So you'll see what happens now. So there's one shot, and we get past him, but he just got up, as you can see. It doesn't kill them in one shot. It takes like 3 to 4 shots to kill them. And this could be a little bit scary, so I think Ace is gonna do another reset to be able to interact with the last part of this section without having to deal with these Novistadors, because couldn't kill that one, and as time passes by we'll get more spawns, which will be a little bit difficult to deal with. Not only that, the next thing we're going to interact with is going to spawn even more Novistadors, so it makes it a little bit difficult. This way we reset everything, timers reset as well, and we also get to reload, so we have an easier time with the Novistadors. Because as opposed to some of the other old RE games where you can go to the inventory and sort of like mix things, and you'll be able to like reload your weapon by just doing inventory during the inventory, we cannot do that here. It's a bit more committal if we choose to reload. So right here, last thing, we press it, and then automatically we will have Novistadors waiting for us outside. These Novistadors are pretty scary. There's a reason why we hate it a lot, and it's because they don't follow the rules that we follow. You know, we don't go through walls. We have to just follow the path that the developers left for us, but they don't. They actually like clipping through walls and doing a bit of a peekaboo from time to time, and that is very annoying to deal with when it happens. So that's why you will see some runners opt to go for like more resets, resetting the move room more than they would like. And mind you, this is a marathon setting, so Ace is doing a couple of the strats that are a little bit more marathon safe, or not marathon safe, event safe. So there's normally a lot more pretty crazy strats that Ace does that is required to get the times that Ace is looking for. There's a merchant there, but we don't really need the merchant, and we already exit the mines, so that's really nice. No more Novistadors. At the point of this run, when you get past the Novistadors, you kind of feel nice, because that part is stressful, and this part is not too stressful at times. We're gonna break this barrel here. We shoot it because it's better. Knifing is slower, and it gives us time to get to this handle here. And so we're gonna start this, but as soon as we see zombies get in, we immediately stop, and we're gonna shoot them with a striker. Ooh, really good mashing by Ace. Normally, you don't mash that well, and normally you have to shoot them. But this is not normally. This is different level. This is pro level. So yeah, good stuff. Real quick here, we're gonna hug the left wall here, and we're gonna move in a diagonal way past these traps. What this does is that this enemy will point at us very late, and it will make all the AI kind of sort of realize that we exist pretty late, which means the chainsaw guy here in the bottom is not going to stop us from leaving this area. We're gonna do here the quick turn, get past her as she's always trying to point and laugh, and leaves this room entirely. It's also a good moment to combine and make the crown, because we need to interact with the door and use the key. So if we're already doing inventory, why not use that? You're already seeing a similar room like this, but now it has enemies, so we're gonna shoot the one in front, turn around, shoot the other one, and then instead of being able to shoot from the outside, we do have to shoot these as it's coming down. It moves pretty slowly, so if your aim is somewhat decent, you'll be fine. So not big of a deal. And now we go into a card section, which is a pretty fun one, to be honest. So for this card section, there's 3 places you can be in, but ideally we need to be in the front, and the reason is because we want to shoot zombies before they get into the cart. Right? So Striker has a couple of good benefits to it. Number one, the spread is it has a good spread, so it basically takes down a group of enemies. If you aim, you know, depending on the angle, it will take 2, or it could take 3 sometimes. The other thing is the sound it produces. It makes them drop. If you haven't hit one of those, there's a chance that they will drop, and that means that they'll also get run over by the cart, which helps a lot. And yeah, the amount of damage it does here is not super important because enemies here, they just sort of die in one hit by just dropping. Because one of the things that is interesting about these enemies in particular in terms of the design of them is like if they're in a border and you shoot them, they're kind of triggered to sort of drop off. Another game that you see this very often is in Resident Evil 5 as well. So shoot these two here. That one in the back, very important. Take these out and immediately just hit this lever as soon as the cart stops. And if you did it right, we might not get enemies getting inside the cart. There we go. And that way we, you know, consume less ammo and have a bit of a joyful ride here instead of looking backwards. We look forward. A couple more enemies here, and we're gonna try to shoot them as well. If we did it right, we could have taken down many of them, but we're gonna have to deal with one of them. No, let's go. Okay, all three of them are down. That was a little bit scary. I think Ace was going there for the middle. Hoping the spread will take all three of them down. The other benefit is like these things that you just shot. It's you don't have to aim as hard, so it's a little bit easier to nail shots instead of having a weapon that is a bit more precise where you can fail and it's just you're in for a bad time. So this is a bit of a slow section here, not too much. I think this is pretty much the end. After this is more of like you just in for the ride. No, actually, I think there's one more. So this is probably the last few group of enemies. One more. Nice. And so, if you played before this group of enemies, if you played the previous one wrong, you will have a guy with a chainsaw just down your throat while you're trying to deal with this group of enemies as well. So it's not that fun. But once you get down here, the funny thing is these enemies, if they were to get in the cart, they will just walk, or they will try to get to you, but you're going so fast that it's kind of difficult for them to just deal with you. And here, there's going to be a prompt. We're going to mash it quickly. And out. As you can see, Ace was already mashing way before the prompt appeared, but as soon as you do that, we're out. And also, the whole mashing the one single button to climb, that, if you are a good masher, you won't have any problems. But I've seen moments where a runner loses a run because of that. Because mashing in this game is really weird. I don't know if it's like directed has to do with the FPS, but God, it's so scary at times. Once I saw it the first time, I was like, all right, a lot of respect to you, my friend. I'm a mash like if it's my final day. And there we go. We go up the ladder. Those groups of enemies, if you run fast, you don't have to worry about them. And that's the end of the chapter. This first portion here is going to go a bit quickly. Hopefully the enemies behave and we get a RNG. We're going to go down here and trigger the spawn and immediately look back and shoot between the legs here with the TMP. If everything went right, one of the enemies is going to point and laugh, as he did, like there. A little bit slow on that part, so we're going to have to wait and bait. A little bit of a shimmy here and then go up. This might change slightly how the enemies are going to behave in the cycle, potentially. But we're going to wait here and for this guy to go do the attack. And this is, oh wow, I can't believe that happened. What a save, that was crazy. Talking about being optimal. Anyways, we flash here so we don't have any problems. As the enemies come back up, we can shoot with Striker. And we're gonna shoot the middle here, so hand goes up, the other one goes down, and the enemies across us jump at the same time as we're gonna jump. Hopefully the red Cella did the same thing, or like was weirdly away from us, but did not. It was stay here in the bottom, which is bad of Mr. Cella, misbehaving. Not bad. A really close save there. Here's just really just mashing, and then when the prompt comes out to just press a certain button, we just press it. And this is the first phase of it. We're gonna shoot this here, and we're gonna do it again. Mash, 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 and then do another prompt to jump, and then mash here like your life depends on it. There we go. So number just this is a bit of a moment to just go up in the tower Uh, this first part is not too big, not too biggie, not too much of a trouble here. But now there's gonna be barrels coming out, but it's not gonna be something that we're gonna be concerned about because we're going to shoot him down. He's gonna stop throwing barrels at us and stop being disrespectful. We're a little bit low on ammo here, so we're gonna use the TMP to just make the enemy fall down, and so that way we get up here without having to be chased by that enemy. And so here, ideally, we shoot the dynamite, wait for him to throw it up again, and there we go. And now we proceed. If we don't do that, we will definitely get hit by the dynamite, and we don't want that. So real quick here, we push these two boxes, and this is going to be very specific. We're going to touch this and drive with it and go to the opposite side of the corner. We're going to turn around after killing these two enemies, and we're going to try to aim the crosshair with a cable right here and move 5 steps forward, and then we stop and we aim down. This is the perfect spot. If we did it right, this is the perfect spot to send enemies away from the platform by shooting just one single spot. And we're going to turn around and do that on the enemies that appear behind us in a bit. So next to enemies, this is the third group. If we did it right, they go back. Nice, good behaving. And now for the rest of the next rest of the enemies, as they drop, we're gonna single them out. So one drops, and then we take that group as well together, and then we keep on singling the rest of the enemies. There you go. 2. They're not behaving that much. Another thing that I didn't explain is as this elevator goes up, if 2 enemies drop inside this elevator, the elevator completely stops. So the only way it resumes to go up is by having only 1 enemy or none. So these 2 enemies being here is not actually allowing us to proceed. We gotta take them down. Shotgun or striker is like the best way to do it because it just has a lot of knockback. The one thing I like about this game in particular is that a lot of the weapons, because of how visceral this game is, there's a lot of utility to these weapons, and the utility is sort of are not the same. You know, like the striker has a lot of knockback, and the other one is really good at just sort of taking care of one enemy in particular. And since it doesn't have the knockback that the striker has, we can kind of make an enemy kneel and then sort of kick them, and Neon's kick is so powerful that I can hit 100 of enemies and they all fall back. I'm just kidding, that actually doesn't happen, but I wish there was a mod that did that. I think that would be very cool. So anybody hearing me out there, please make a mod where there's like 1,000 enemies in one single place and one kick just knocks them all off. Anyways, we're gonna sell everything that we have here to get to buy an RPG. If we can. We'll see. Hold on. We might actually go for a different strat here. No RPG. Okay, so we're gonna perform a different strat. Since we have the broken barfly, we're gonna go do 3 shots in the face here, make him go down. Ooh, misbehaving here. I guess we didn't do any crits. And then we're gonna use the broken barfly to just nail this guy down. Oh, close. 3, 4, 5, and it's all about prompts here. So if you do it right, you don't have to worry. As you can see, he takes a lot of damage, but I can assure you that if we had the RPG, it would have been a different story. Alright, 2 bullets left, and we might need to use the shotgun here. As you can see, we're just hugging the front and we're just wailing on him. The eye comes back up and we need at least like 3 to 4. Things didn't went well, so we're going to do a pretty strat that we kind of do on like really harder runs, which is like we bait the mouth and then we move to the opposite side and it completely misses. And this way we avoid getting grabbed or hit by it. The tentacles on the side only hit you with prompts, so if the prompt doesn't appear, you can be safe. You can feel safe about just shooting this enemy. Also, you can see how chunky it is and how valuable RPGs are. Same thing here. We bait him on one side and then move to the next. So we're a little bit low on ammunition, so we have to be a bit more selective about how we shoot stuff. And as you can see, this spot also is really good for dodging. Nice. Really good for not having to do the prompts. And that's pretty much it for this boss. That's GG. I tell you, my friends, if you watch any percent, like a normal run of this game, and you see the use of the RPG, you go like, oh my god, that is so way much easier. So GG to Ace for choosing to do the non-safer strat and going ham on this boss with everything that he had. Pretty much has no ammo. That was definitely a really close fight. And yeah, this is pretty much gonna be the end of this chapter, and also the end of Castle Percent. This is basically where Castle ends.
Nice, G.
Let's see for time. Ooh, was that a sub an hour?
Yep.
Nice. Look at that.
Nice, guys. Nice.
Really good.
GG's.
Yeah,
GG
really good stuff.
Thanks.
So
Thanks.
everyone go follow Ace. He streams on Twitch sometimes, but he has a lot of not that much runs of Resident Evil games on his YouTube channel. You can find him there. And also go follow Hey Blasty because he has a lot of not that much runs in basically every game that exists in this planet. But thanks so much, guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you, guys.
Thanks,